Something much more forward-looking, right? New age, new world, something that sets a new standard in terms of luxury and performance for all others to follow.
We'll admit, this is perhaps not one of the prettiest cars that we've ever set eyes upon. However, if you are ready to look past its looks, then a whole new world awaits beneath the BMW iX. Premium and electric. Those are the two core metrics by which the BMW iX won its Car of the Year category. And yes, we want to give both due attention to properly understand the car. So let's first start with electric. But to do that, we do have to take a short history lesson. Back in 2013, when the idea of electric cars was still not as talked about as it is today, BMW had already created an otherworldly looking hatchback from the ground up. Its name was the i3. Its interior used sustainably produced materials that still exuded luxury. It had its own skinny tires to improve efficiency, and it incorporated carbon fiber reinforced plastic, the stuff of F1 cars, to reduce weight and increase body rigidity. And above all, it was built to be purely electric. The i3 was arguably BMW's first step at mass electrification. And while the iX here obviously looks worlds apart from the i3, it actually carries on some of the legacy it first started with the i3, of course with enhancements, refinements and advancements for the modern age. So, if you come a little bit closer, you can see carbon weave over here and also in the door areas, and this is because to keep this car as lightweight yet rigid and stiff as possible, carbon fiber reinforced plastic is used thoroughly throughout this car. Now, if you follow me down to the side, you'll notice these aerodynamically optimized wheel covers as well as this flush door handles, right? These are electronic, and what's the purpose of all of this? It is all about aerodynamic efficiency. So this car has a pretty impressive 0.26 drag coefficient, and that's actually better than some small family sedans. And you know, the entire design of the car is built around trying to make it as slippery as possible. This being an electric car, you want it to be as efficient as possible to maximize your electric range. And how do you use these door handles? Just push the button inside, open up. Step inside the iX, and the second half of the equation, the premium portion, starts to become clear. As a marker of a new, cleaner era, it's to be expected that the latest and best practices in sustainability are used. The iX is fitted with Sensatec vegan leather, which is what you see here. However, if you're looking for something more special, you could opt for natural leather, responsibly tanned using organic olive extracts. And that layer of wood on the center console, that's certified by the Forest Stewardship Council, which promotes sustainable management of the world's forest. More important, however, is the effect created by all these efforts. The buttons used to adjust your seat rests are high-quality glass applications. This space looks expensive, feels expensive, and even smells expensive. It sets a new bar for luxury, even by BMW standards. The iX also brings with it an added dimension, which is that of technology. So, BMW says that this is its tech flagship, and it's really not hard to see why. So, there are a lot of features that are new in this car. So, for example, with your door opening, it's just a little button here. The iX also debuts BMW's Operating System 8 and its curved display, so you have a whole bunch of new functionality, all that kind of thing. We also have the heads-up display, and it's very extensive now, a whole bunch of information that you can view on it, including things like your navigation, your map, telling you where to go, stuff like that. You also get a panoramic roof here that goes opaque with just a touch of a button, so no need for an additional roof cover. And even the safety systems are super advanced, so the car is actually able to detect various vehicles on the road and can identify heavy vehicles and motorcycles as well. Speaking of being on the road, this is where the feeling of luxury is further amplified. Well, figuratively speaking, of course. The iX offers the incredibly cosseting and smooth ride that we expect from BMW's flagships, but even more impressively is just how quiet it is. With internal combustion engines slowly going away, yes, some people may miss that automotive soundtrack, right, especially for performance cars. However, I feel like with a car like the iX, you'll be hard-pressed to miss that engine note, because with a car like that, it's all about comfort, quietness, serenity, and just listen to it. Listen to how silent this car is. And that's not to say that this iX is sedate or boring. So if I just give it a little bit more throttle, This car really surges forward, right? We have 240 kilowatt and 630 Newton meters of torque. And I'm not even going full throttle, right? This is just the benefits of having an electric drivetrain. And of course, there is also the accompaniment of what BMW calls its iconic sound. So it's an electric soundtrack that honestly is kinda amusing. Underpinning all of this is the fact that the iX is ultimately not an electric car you're afraid of living with. In other words, underneath all that glamour and tech, this is fundamentally a very practical car. So it's a sort of car that you will be wowed by every day when you step into it, precisely because it's the sort of car that you would use every day without hesitation. Truthfully, with everything mentioned so far, we're only scratching the surface of the iX, and we're not talking about the one on its grille, which can actually heal on its own. But if anything it's clear, it's that the iX stands as a proud culmination of everything BMW has stood for. Boldness, a willingness to take risks, cutting-edge technology, and supersized electric luxury, now for a cleaner and greener era.